Um, so my son is 22 years old, and he went to a party with four of his good friends. Um, this party was in the south, north, south, yeah, south of Israel. A party for fun and music. He's a musician, so he really likes music, and that's why he went to this party. During he got there around like 5:30 in the morning, and by 6 he heard many rockets uh, falling, and they thought the first thing they thought maybe it was the music. It took him a little bit, like 10 minutes, to understand that it's not music, and it's really rockets, and he got with his friends into the car and tried to get away from this place. But he stopped. He stopped and got into this special shelter to hide from these rockets, and he escaped, trying to escape from this area. Uh, he got into this shelter with 27 other men and women in his age, maybe a little bit older or a bit younger, but mostly his age. And they tried to hide for a while. And then suddenly the Hamas terrorists arrived at this shelter and tried to kill them. The first thing that they did is they threw 7 grenades into the shelter. My son and also a friend tried to take each grenade that came in and throw it out, so to save the people inside. But one grenade blew up inside um, the shelter, and it made um, a lot of people injured. A lot of people injured. And what happened was, um, just as it happened, uh, the terrorists came inside and took my son and I think 2 other people into a truck. His best friend saw that they took him. He was very scared. He was injured a little bit, but he saw in his own eyes that they took him. And then the Hamas terrorists came inside and shoot everybody. His best friend and his girlfriend were inside with 2 other friends of his, really inside. So 2 of them were shot and killed, and his best friend was shot but not killed. He was injured in his arm, and so he acted with his girlfriend like they were dead, so the terrorists wouldn't do anything else. And they waited many hours, 6 hours, until somebody came to save them. When they got to the hospital, his best friend told the story. So we knew that Alon was kidnapped and sent to Gaza with Hamas terrorists. So we know this. The IDF came to our house and told us that he is kidnapped. So we know. The last time we heard from Alon was about 8:08 in the morning, when he sent a message to my husband where he said, "I am in a shelter, but I'm okay." When he was kidnapped, and then we haven't heard from him anywhere. My daughter was so sweet. She called his phone every 10 minutes. And at 11:30, she called, and this woman took the phone and said, "They're killing us. They're killing us. Come and save us." and so I took the phone from my daughter. She's 14 years old, and I talked to this woman and I asked her, "Are you okay? What's your name? Where are you?" And she told me, and then the phone went dead. And I was very, very scared because I don't know where my son is. I was very frightened. Um, so later, my daughter kept calling, and at 2:30, this man answers the phone and he says, "I am in the hospital. I took 8 survivors. Maybe one of them is your son." And I sent him a picture of my son, and he looked, and my son wasn't there. So then we started to understand that my son was kidnapped. And the IDF told us that he was kidnapped after a little while. Um, I want to say that my son has a family in Belgrade, in Serbia. He has a Serbian citizenship. My mother has families. My mother's side, my grandfather lived in Novi Sad. That's where he was born and lived until he was a young man at about 15 years old when the Second World War came and he had to fled from Novi Sad to survive, um, which was very hard for him. It was all his family was killed from the Nazis, and the only person was that was left was a family member that still lives in Belgrade. And my son that is now in Gaza, that was kidnapped, and my other son, he's 19 and a half years old, were supposed to go this month to Belgrade with his family and with us to see the family. My son, after he was tripping all over the world. He came back, and we were supposed to go to see Belgrade, which is very hard for us because it's something that we didn't expect to happen. You know, my grandfather came and built his new life in Israel to protect his children and his grandchildren and his grandchildren and his grandchildren. And now another Holocaust. My son, it's like was taken from us, and we are so afraid that something will happen to him. We want him back home safe and sound, and we know that it's very important for us. And it's something that we really need to know that something will happen. You know, he's all alone. He's with others that are working out. He's not alone there, but I feel that he needs help.